Now, in terms of you've been in a lot of startup situations, scale up, ramp up, scale up, and I imagine those take a lot of weekends and nights and just
Hmm.
a lot of hours invested into these things. How do you keep, I wouldn't say the work life balance because we don't really talk about that here. We talk about
Yeah,
the harmony, the
yeah,
work life harmony.
I think that makes sense. Yeah,
How do you ensure that as a focal point? I imagine your wife plays another, like, really good about here's your North Star.
yeah. I mean, when I started Homey, when I left my last company, I kind of was on cruise control. I had all these people that were working for me, and they were doing everything, and I was more, uh, the face to the company. I went around to conferences and just met with our high profile clients, but it was an easy job. But when I wanted to do a startup, that's what she said. She said, I don't want to lose my family, or I don't want to lose my husband. I don't want you to lose your family if you do a startup. So she set expectations and said, this is what I want. And we agreed to them. So
Mm-hmm.
we came to an agreement on what that would look like. But we also talked about seasons. There's certain seasons, like I'm fundraising right now, super busy. I'm traveling like crazy. So she knows that there's times and seasons in businesses where you're not going to be with the family. You're going to have to work nights and weekends. You're going to have to do some of those things. But for the most part, I think you can find a pretty healthy balance. But I think it's all about communication with your partner.
I like her.
She's amazing. She is, yeah.
Well, I think in that article you said that like your biggest break was meeting your
Oh,
wife.
every day I think that. Yeah, she's honestly, she doesn't have a degree. When I married her, uh, she was going to school, but then she wanted to have a baby, and so she didn't finish college. But during work, I call in around noon to check in, and then when I go home, she asks about my day, and I ask about her day. But she has so much input on our company, and she's helped me, part ways with people. She's helped me figure out who to hire if I'm debating between a couple people, or whatever big challenges we have. She's had such a huge voice. And again, thinking of being enough, she doesn't have a degree, so does that mean she's less than? Or she's a stay-at-home mom, is she less than? But the truth is, she is enough, and she's capable, and she has her own talents. And I can't believe the advice she's given me. And that's where it's been. I don't think any of my own partners really know how much she has an influence on the company.
Well, I mean, they talk about business. Everyone that I've talked to in these mastermind interviews, they talk about business in terms of people.
Mm-hmm.
It's a people, it's a communication, it's a understanding partnership, understanding human dynamics, understanding like just empathy.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
empathy's
if
huge. Yeah,
she embraces all of those,
yeah,
she would be an amazing counselor in terms of like here's a perspective maybe you didn't consider because
yeah.
you're inside of it.
She's an advisor for sure, and the way that she runs our family too, it's very business-like. We have values. We have meetings. We plan ahead. And try to have goals as a family. So I mean, a lot of similar things. I don't think it's any different. But yeah, she's been amazing in that sense.
Yeah, I mean technically your family is another business,
It
so
is, yeah.
she's CEO
Yeah,
of.
every employee. That's what she tells me. She said, "You need to spend time with this employee." My little boys, they're going to work for us and hopefully make us some money. With some lemonade stands or whatever. But yeah, my little boys. She tells me you need to spend some extra time with this person. You need to go, show them some love and have a little one-on-one with them. So I think it's similar at work. If someone's not getting attention or the appreciation that they deserve, that they need, that can make it really tough.
That's awesome. I think that's a great example of like you're building businesses, but you know what? You still have this like this life that is meant. I mean, that really is the thing that you carry with you,
Yeah,
right? After
yeah. That's all. That's all any of
pass.
us care about.